So, welcome future Zuckerbergs. This is our first tutorial video for Unity. First of all, we want to show you today how to make panels and your first background. In the description you find important links to Unity and the important programs to programming with Unity. And in the description you find some informations about us, what we make and why we make these tutorials. And yeah, first of all, we want to say something about our roles in these videos. I'm the noob and the cutter from the videos. I have the maybe important questions to show you how to programming with Unity. And yeah,
I'm the programmer.
He has the right answers.
Hopefully.
Yeah, then we start with the first question. How to make a panel and what is a panel in Unity? Yeah, Marvin, tell the noob, I'm Marcel, that is Marvin, tell the noob how to make a panel in Unity.
Okay, so first what you want to do is, right now the view that you see is on the game scene, and you want to separate that from your scene view, because within the scene view you can edit objects, and in the game view you can see the things that ultimately will be on your user's phone or on the desktop or whatever you make. So could you grab the game and drag it over to the right? Try to attach it maybe to the, there we go.
Okay.
So now we have a split view, and on the left you have your scene. Right now it's set to 3D. Since we're working on UI right now, you probably want to change that to 2D too. So try to click on that next to the scene view. There's a little 2D button.
Here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now you toggle that, and now it's in a 2D view, and on the right is your game view.
Okay.
So within your sample scene, you can right click and you can go to UI and you can click on panel.
All right.
So this is going to create a canvas for you. If you shortly hover over the canvas, I'll click on it.
This?
Yeah, you see on the right there's a couple of settings where you can change the render mode of the canvas. So right now it's set to screen space overlay, which is also what you see on the right, because I don't know if you noticed, but on the right side the background kind of grayed out. So that is the panel that we've created. If you play around with the render modes, you will see that that changes depending on what kind of UI you want to create. You might need to toggle that render mode there. But
okay, so wait, you forget, I'm a noob. I want to know how to make a panel.
Okay.
What I must do.
Okay, so you already created the panel now.
Yes.
And before we start adding a background here, something that is really important about UI elements in general is if you click on the sort of hair cross where it says stretch.
Here?
Yeah. If you click on that, you see how you can align your panel or whatever UI element you're working with, how you can align that to your parent.
And for what is that important?
That is important depending on, like, if you want to, for instance, create a screen where you have a button on the bottom right. Some settings here can make it easier for you that this bottom right setting will be applicable also on your iPhone or on the screen. If you change dimensions, the objects need to work together, need to align nicely. So you can change the settings here. Right now it's setting to stretch, which means that your panel will take the full size of its parent, and the parent right now is your canvas.
Okay.
So just one more thing on the stretch part. Can you click on stretch again?
Yes.
So the inner 9 rectangles, I would say, those ones, those help you align the object within its parent. based on the position, but they do not take into account the size of your object. So right now you have it set to stretch, so it will fill out the entire size of the parent. If you, for instance, change it to the one in the very center, just try to do that.
This?
Yeah, and now change your window size. Just move your window a little bit. No, go down here. Click here on this one.
On what?
Yeah, you were there.
I'm
Yeah.
loop.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Now you see that your object does not respond anymore to the full size. So if you change the settings there, you can see how it saves its position, because that's what you set it to do, but it doesn't change its size. So this is something important to know if you dive more into the entire UI creation, because it helps you make nice UIs depending on what your goal is. Sometimes you need to have your objects stretch to the parent, sometimes you don't need this, sometimes you need it to align on the bottom, so that's a very important setting.
I think we can show it better when we add the first buttons.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah. So how I can make a background in the panel right now?
So first, I would create the folders under your asset, and I would try to stay as organized as possible, because you don't know how large your project is going to grow.
So I right-click in Assets and create a folder.
Exactly. And now you name it. I would name it maybe Art or something like that.
Okay.
And then even in that folder, I would create another folder, which I would call Sprites.
All right.
Because this is what you're gonna add here. And you could even go another level deeper and describe what kind of sprite it is. Let's say, for instance, you make a game with enemies, then I would create a folder enemies inside there. For now, this is not going to be necessary, but we can load an image right now into it. So go to your downloads and just pick, or to your pictures and just pick a couple of images.
Right now I put per drag and drop the background picture I want to have. So we take our logo.
Put it into sprites too.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you click on the image now, you see that its texture shape is set to do D. Try to change that to sprite in UI. Oh, sorry, texture type.
Texture type to sprite.
And apply it.
Apply.
So you need to change the setting in order for you to be able to select that image in your UI view. You can also see now that it applied the alpha.
Oh yes.
Unity. So now if you go to the panel,
Left click on panel.
and you drag and drop the logo into the source image on the right.
In background here?
Yeah, exactly. You see that it changed the background. You can also alternatively, if you go to the right, you can click on the little dot.
This?
Yeah, and there you would be able to select it as well. Yeah, now you can change the alpha value, which is the opacity of the image, and you can set it to 255 from 100, and now you can see that your image changes in opacity.
Okay. So thank you very much for looking our first tutorial here to Unity. Now you are one step closer to the next Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft game or whatever else you want to make. And yeah, in the next tutorial we will show you how to implement buttons in Unity and what you can make with that, and maybe the first script. And yeah, thank you very much. See you next time.
Ciao!